Hello everyone, has it ever happened to you that as you play or practice your scales, if you were to be completely honest, you would have to say that you have a hard time hearing that much of a difference between them? Maybe you've heard your favorite guitar players talk about the mysterious Lydian and the earthy Dorian and the dreamy whole tone scales, and yet when you try to play them, they're all basically different shades of the same musical gray. If that's the case, let me reassure you there's nothing wrong with you, nor with your hearing, nor with the amount of talent you were given. It's annoying, but it's something we've all gone through and something we can all work our way out of, and I'm going to tell you how right now. Let's say I'm practicing a major scale. Let's keep it simple with C major down here in this position. And then I decide to practice C Lydian and I play it in the same position. If I just play them like this with no context, then they sound very similar. And if I do this for hours, I will certainly learn some fingerings, but I won't really learn the intricacies and the sounds of each scale. All scales are not created equal to our ear. It's not a democracy up here. No matter what scale you play, your brain will go, hey, is that major? Yes? Good. No? Well, I'll just pretend it is. And the truth is that when you play enough notes, your brain will try to rearrange them so that the perceived root would be almost always major and to a lesser degree minor. So before, when we were playing C major, we'll hear C as the root, but when we play C Lydian, we'll hear G as the root, the relative major, and not the C of the C Lydian mode. And that's because the stranger other notes, which would imply I'm in a mode or in a more exotic scale, simply don't register as tonics in a natural way. If I want you to hear them that way, then I would have to work extra hard. But unless I truly understand the scales, it would be very hard for me to play them masterfully, emotionally, and convincing you as the audience that you are in that new space. And so my improvisation and my solos will come out sounding very bland and directionless, which is kind of what amateurs sound like. And until you culture your ear for some of these unusual sounds, you'll have a really hard time hanging on to these stranger notes that make these scales special. So how do we get past that? How do we not sound like amateurs? And the answer is use a drone. A drone is a note or sometimes a chord that is held throughout as you play on top of it. And there are many ways you can get a drone going. You can just hit a key on a synthesizer. You can maybe use a guitar looper. You can use a freeze reverb. You can even get one of these strange things. But certainly the simplest drone and the cheapest of all is your open E string. You can hit this string and play on top of it all kinds of different scales. Beautiful musical landscapes will open up for you. Practicing with the drone will help you overcome any shortcomings your ear might be experiencing as you interface with scales. So here's 3 exercises you can use. For exercise number 1, I just want you to take a scale, any scale, and practice it over a drone. We're actually going to limit ourselves to only 1 octave. And I don't even want you to think about the scale or the formula or what you think it should sound like. I just want you to sit down, relax, and just play. And let the sounds that you produce come into your ear and create whatever it is they create. Emotion or opinions, whatever it is fine. And don't worry about sounding bad or sounding silly, because I certainly don't. And I'm gonna do it right now in front of you in the key of C. I'm gonna start with C major, 1 octave only. Maybe I'll go to Lydian and let that sink in. Maybe switch to mixolydian, see the difference? Maybe Dorian. You see how this goes. Take all those sounds in, don't judge them, just enjoy them. And you can see that it's very eye-opening to do that. Next up, for exercise number 2, we're actually going to be a little more deliberate about it. And we're going to compare two scales that can be very close to each other, or they can be very different. In this case, I'm going to pick two that are very close. One is called the minor scale, and the other the harmonic minor scale. So here's minor, and the harmonic minor. Let's just play a little bit with both of them. I could play for hours, but you'll be bored. And finally, for your third exercise, you can go really deep within one single scale. You start playing it very slowly, for example, like this mixolydian flat 6. Let those sounds sink in, of course, over a drone like this. Maybe listen to what groups of notes are like, what clusters or what fingerings on the fretboard. Where the essence of it is. As you can see, this really allows you to go deep within a scale and its sound. If you're on my Patreon, which I just started 2 days ago, so you're all invited over, you will always get all the diagrams and graphics from this video available for download. But today I'll also give you 12 drones you can download and use for your practice. And as a special thank you and treat, I will record them for you on this wonderful machine back here, the Moog One, so that you can practice in style. And if you need some ideas for what scales to use over these drones, please check out this video here on the modes. It will give you plenty of inspiration. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and keep in touch in the comments below. I love to hear from you. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.